Monday, November 30th. Friday, they worked in the hallway of the assisted living building. Utilities will run in the ceiling and then drop down to each apartment. Friday was really windy and pulled at the plastic covering the timber. The worker with the hood kept going to get it leveled onto the sky deck. Wind also complicated this welder's work. It was blowing the sparks up into his face, but not keeping his hands very warm. Saturday it was worse. I stood inside and you could hear it howling, and my screen door was rattling, and the construction plans are going to go flying again. So glad they aren't working today. All day Saturday, the clouds roiled and the wind blew. It even snowed in the mountains in the afternoon, and it was all sucked in. But today, the sky is blue, the air is crisp. Worker is busy tying rebar for the triangle that will have concrete poured early tomorrow morning. Today is demo day for scaffolding. The two guys on the left are in harnesses and are prying up the Lego pieces to hand to the two guys on the right to be carted off and stacked. Down below, a worker with a long pole and a hook presses gently against the sharp tooth edge so that it doesn't fall on his head and can be stacked also. Skytrack is busy being everyone's trash truck today. Piles and piles of rebar get removed from the deck. There's still a huge pile of planks and lumber that need to be taken off. These guys are covering the tension cable holes with concrete all along the south deck. Down below, we're beginning to see some open spaces as more scaffolding and Lego pieces are removed and stacked. Piles of Lego pieces are getting strapped together for transport. On to the next job. Out on the road, a big flatbed is full of Lego pieces ready to go. On the steel atrium, what I thought was a final paint color was the underneath layer for the same color of stucco today. Near door 8, I found pallets of decorative retaining wall blocks. When does that start? On the north side, you have to crane your neck way up to see the top of the elevator tower. I think this is the final floor. Skytrack stopped being trash man and is now loading the prefab walls onto the north deck. They'll be going up pretty soon. From the casita walls, you can see that prefabricated bundles have been delivered onto the sky deck, and the tower keeps getting taller than the trees. Near the kitchen alley, Skytrack is being trash man again, getting rid of heavy-duty concrete and dropping it in a big metal bin. It makes a satisfying clunk when he drops the big pieces. At the end of the day, a worker is blowing leaves off the rebar triangle that will have concrete poured tomorrow morning. Your chuckle today comes from 3 sweet babies. Check out their piggy tails to tell them apart. Last fall decoration, then I get to start on Christmas ones.
Hi folks. This week we change things up a bit. We start with assisted living at the west end looking east. We're going around the other way, counterclockwise. Look at the yellow crane used for lifting big batches of framing onto the second floor. Most of the old sky decking and pencil support pillars are now gone. At the east end, framing is well along. There's no more steel that we can see that's been erected. And again, they've cleared out the first floor supports and decking. Do you like the snow? As we come around and get a look at the lobby area, we can see that the stuccoing seems mostly done. This is John Brayer. It's Wednesday, December 2nd. Temperature is 34 degrees. We're now going to fly slowly around and get an overall view of the back side. Hope you like it. You think they're going to insulate and stucco the back side here? We don't know. We now fly west and get one more look at the second floor. It looks like the snow will soon be gone. Do you think the framing will all be done by next week? We'll have to wait and see. Next, we're going to jump over to the independent living building. And wow, what a change. All this framing has appeared just in the last day or two. Note the tower is almost done. More bricks are being lifted up to the top as we watch. As we fly toward the east, we see a seemingly haphazard jumble of prefab frames, some already erected. Again, this has just happened in the last day or two. There aren't many people working just now, perhaps because of the snow. As we come around the east end and begin to come back along the south wall, we can see there's even more framing there stacked up alongside the building, getting ready for use. And there's one lone worker there surveying all of the jumble. And finally, we get a good look of the tower and its scaffolding and the workers. Are we invading their privacy? What do you think?
Thursday, December 3rd. On Tuesday, the crane for concrete appeared. This may be the last time I get to see it. Before the concrete truck arrived, this worker was cutting the corner off a heavy steel plate with 4 bolts in it. I'm not sure it's normal to get nostalgic over the ploppy sound of concrete being poured, but it's been a long year and I've kind of gotten used to it. Although the vibrating rod can sound like a dying elephant once in a while, I won't miss that quite as much right outside my balcony. Smoothing it out with a 2x4 still is pretty fascinating and much quieter. While my guys wait for the second concrete truck, they start hamming it up. I'm gonna miss them this close, sometimes. It was 28 degrees on Tuesday morning and steam was rising from the truck. I didn't realize the concrete was hot. Second concrete truck filled up the triangle. This time it was only 9 in the morning. Must always take a break and check that everything is level and on track. Final swishing and leveling with the 2x4 and raking extra where they need it. The final smoothing is still pretty cool, how they get it to be so shiny and flat. Assisted living apartments are moving right along. These guys up high really have the best view of the concrete process. Tuesday afternoon, a truck arrived on the street and they began unloading 3 pallets of prefabricated walls onto the south sky deck. Little guy on the truck hooks up the next pallet and then gets out of the way before they lift it up. I felt like this load was going to take my face off. And then all of a sudden I realized I had my zoom up really high, so I lowered it and got to see the rest of the process. Winds had kicked up on Tuesday afternoon, and it made it a little difficult to lower the pallets, kind of like trying to set down a struggling elephant. As the pallet lowers, they scurry around to put 2x4s below it. In case the weather turns rainy or snowy, they don't want it sitting in puddles. Wind is fighting with the tarp as they get ready to cover the concrete so it can cure adequately. It snowed in the night on Tuesday, so I think they're really glad they covered up the concrete. Jan Hooper said not much has been happening on the fitness classroom, just added these tarps for weather protection. I love watching the clouds shift and change and then paint the mountains white. Even unfinished construction can look beautiful against a snowy mountain sky. Another truck rolled up with 3 pallets of prefabricated walls, and they started all over again. On Wednesday, the deck was wet, and lowering the pallet became more dangerous, and they fought against the weather, even got caught up in the line and the pole. Another worker was squeegeeing the deck. In the afternoon, the clouds lifted and the mountains were beautiful. Even a flock of birds got caught in the picture. Crew has started dismantling the sky deck, and they are really loud. I told them if they started that before 7 in the morning, I was going to throw tomatoes at them. They had the nerve to laugh at me. Vivians have put cheerful holiday decorations on their porch. Makes you feel quite festive when you walk by. I think the bear was saying Merry Christmas. It was hard to tell under the mask.